Okay, before we begin, let me just say that by the very nature of this video, there are going to be a lot of people who don't like what I have found. But here's the thing, I'm not going to change or bend the truth just to make someone happy. That's not to say I won't get something wrong, I'm human after all. I collected all this data from Deathbattle videos and several debunking videos. If you have any specific questions, you might want to check out the Deathbattle cast, or read the cards in the description of the actual fight video. Those might answer some of the specific questions that you have. I will attempt to link these videos in the description, but I forget things. Okay, enough with that, let's get into the video. Hello Internet, JoJo here, and welcome to Idea Shock. Today, we have our first Deathbattle breakdown video. And I guess that this is a good place to put a spoiler warning, so consider yourself spoiler warned. But enough of the long drawn out intro that I wanted to do, let's get into the facts that I found. Jumping right in, we know that for Green Lantern to win, he has to be able to kill Alien X. Because of this, all of Ben's other aliens are pretty much pointless for this discussion, as none of them are even close to as strong as Alien X. So let's just compare Hal and Ben side by side and discuss more specific powers later on in the video. At one point, the Ben 10 universe gets destroyed. In response, Alien X just makes a new one. From what I know, this is Alien X's greatest feat of energy output. For X to create a universe, he had to produce 4 times 10 to the 69th power in joules. However, it is said that X is able to destroy a multiverse in only 6 thoughts. While this is most likely a joke and has no evidence shown in the actual show, for the sake of argument, let's take it as fact and assume that he can do this. Just so you know, the Deathbattle cast actually addressed this particular question in more detail. Lantern, on the other hand, has fought on equal terms with Captain Atom, a being that is capable of destroying an entire universe in a nanosecond. Why did he do this, you might ask? He simply wanted to bring a dog back to life. Hal was also able to match Dr. Polaris' magnetic control of the entire universe. In this panel, it even says that both him and Dr. Polaris' power was almost limitless. Hal has shown that he is far stronger than Kyle Rayner, and Kyle can hold back the Big Bang. According to the Deathbattle cast, the DC universe is over 10 billion times larger than our own.
Brought this up. The DC universe is larger. Its diameter is at least 200 trillion light years, which is much larger than ours. The energy that would be required to create a universe, the total mass energy of a universe that size, would be about 10 billion times more than ours.
So, Green Lantern has demonstrated many times that he is, at minimum, on par with X. But then Lantern fought all the gods of emotion. Hal fought and beat the source of all emotions in the universe, including the god of willpower, and he did this with his own willpower. Hal has more willpower than there are emotions in the entire universe. This means that at a minimum, Hal is most likely 7,000 times stronger than all other Lanterns. Okay, instead of 7,000, I was meaning to say several thousand, but it just kept coming out 7,000. And I think at one point I said 70,000, so just know that I mean several thousand. When Hal overpowered the source of all willpower, he beat the source of all willpower in the universe. As much as I would like to give this category to Alien X, Hal has just shown that he can produce 7 billion times more energy than X has been shown to produce. Sure, theoretically X has been stated to be able to destroy a multiverse, but that has no supporting evidence. Also, how large is the multiverse? The Dragon Ball multiverse has like 15 universes. I can't in good conscience give this point to X. Alien X has survived the entire destruction of the Ben 10 universe without even a scratch. As they state in the Deathbattle episode, the energy to destroy a universe is 4 times 10 to the 69th power in joules. We've been over this. But then Deathbattle mentions how Kilowog survived the Crisis event. For those of you who don't know, the Crisis event was a canonical retcon in the DC universe. This event destroyed an entire multiverse, and we know that Hal is far stronger than the rest of the Lanterns. This means that Hal can take the multiverse-destroying events to the face at his very peak power. This is a definitive point in Lantern's favor, because even if Alien X can destroy a multiverse in 6 dots, Hal can survive it. Now, there's a whole lot of gray area when it comes to faster than light speed, but Deathbattle was able to find Alien X's speed by looking at this black hole and finding out how fast X would need to move to form it. They concluded that X would need to move 7 trillion times the speed of light. This speed is definitely Alien X's maximum potential, as there are many X's helping to form the black hole and not just the one. Compare that to Hal Jordan, who was able to cross the DC universe in only a few hours. This put him at almost 1.5 quintillion times faster than the speed of light, or 750 times faster than X. Just for reference, a turtle's top speed is about 3 miles per hour. This means that Usain Bolt, the fastest man alive, is only 6 times faster than a turtle. But Hal is 750 times faster than X. The Omnitrix's AI is an important thing for us to know because it has been shown to react in time to catch the Big Bang. Liam, a researcher at Deathbattle, used a similar event to find the AI's actual speed.
We can look at that episode. The episode is A New Dawn. It's from Omniverse. When the Nylar goes off and creates a universe, after about 6 seconds or so, you can start to see galaxies form. So if you take the distance between us and, say, the Andromeda Galaxy, and apply that to the speed, that'd be about 13 trillion times the speed of light for the propagation of the Big Bang. Compared to Hal's speed, that's about 100,000 times slower, because Hal was able to fly across the universe at 1.5 quintillion times the speed of light.
This means that the Omnitrix can definitely keep Lantern from removing it, right? Not quite.
In terms of specific constructs, like how fast Hal's constructs move, he was once able to create these little drones which flew and searched the entire universe for other Green Lanterns. So they searched the entire volume of the universe in the span of a heartbeat. I got about 400 novemdecillion times the speed of light, which is
Holy
a 4 followed by 60 zeros, and about 10 to the 49th times faster than the Omnitrix could react. This doesn't account for the number of drones that he had, so he had a couple, but it also doesn't account for the fact that the DC's universe is much larger. That would inflate the volume by a lot.
This feat makes it absurdly clear that Hal's constructs are in fact faster than the Omnitrix's speed. So yes, Hal's scissors are faster than the Big Bang. It also might be good to mention that Hal can move and react faster than time. We know this because he once piloted a spaceship while traveling at massively faster than light speeds. During this flight, Hal almost entered the Speed Force. The Speed Force is what gives speedsters like the Flash their speed. Wally West, one of those speedsters, was able to outrun instant transmission without going into the Speed Force. This shows that Hal can think and react faster than an instant. Oh yeah, this was without his ring. So far, Hal's proved to be better than X in every way. But that's only so far. The fact that X can duplicate himself is actually very useful. According to one debunking video I saw, each of these are Ben, and not just a clone. From the clip that Deathbattle showed, and from what the debunking video shows, we can see that there are about 50 to 100 of them. This might prove to be an issue if they all attacked him at the same time, but even then, Hal has proven his durability is more than enough to protect him. Reversing time is powerful, but it's not the same thing as time traveling. It still takes time for it to reverse, while time travel is instant. I assume that X could rewind time and turn someone into like a baby, and maybe he could even make a time loop like in Doctor Strange.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
I'm not sure he's been shown to do either of these things in the show. And this is where a lot of issues come into play. Deathbattle cannot make up powers for characters unless there's probable cause, like the whole erasing people in a blink.
Alien X actually has never erased anyone from reality. This is a statement about celestial sapiens in general from Kevin. He says, they could blink and you'd be gone.
They could just blink and we'd be gone.
So how he actually does it is a little unclear. In the animation, it was a slow fade just for a dramatic effect, like slow death and then punctuate by, no, you can't. Like, that's just the idea behind it.
This is Alien X. He controls all of reality. This is over.
I don't care what kind of power you got!
If Alien X tried to erase Hal instantly, it would fail instantly. Green Lantern powerings have defended against the Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was the multiverse, like universes being erased and then eventually the multiverse being erased.
X hadn't actually done that in the show, but they still gave it to him because it is implied. Hal can transmute matter and energy. This is one of the most overpowered abilities in all of fiction. In physics, transmutation is the process of changing one element or substance into another substance. If you know anime, think of Fullmetal Alchemist. This means that Green Lantern can change the very atomic structure of X's body. Hal could turn X into oxygen. And this is not even all Lantern has. Hal is also said to be able to transmute energy. The law of perpetual motion states that all energy will eventually appear in physical form. This might also mean that Hal can change the very properties of an energy. Both of these abilities mean that Green Lantern can turn X into paper and transmute any energy directed towards him into power for his own ring. Also, he can go invisible and go intangible. Okay, if you've gotten this far, you 1. Hate me, 2. Are not annoyed with me, or 3. You fell asleep with your phone on your lap. If you hate me, why not subscribe, watch all my videos, and leave me a well thought out and respectful comment explaining exactly why you don't like me. If you're in category 2, well, thank you. I'm glad that I don't annoy everyone. Why don't you subscribe and leave a comment for what video you want to see next? And if you're asleep, I'll just let you sleep because you're a hard-working individual and I can always use the view time. But now, let's look at some of his different aliens that I saw mentioned as arguments. I might get some of these facts wrong, but just bear with me. Clockwork is an alien that can manipulate time. However, some debunking videos show this scene and state that he can stop time. That's not true. We can actually see that these objects are moving around, and we're even shown what it looks like from an outside perspective. This is, at best, slowing time or faster than sight speed. True time stopping does not have any objects moving. In fact, Quicksilver and the Flash in these scenes are even faster, because the objects in those scenes are moving a lot slower than the one in Clockwork's. I mean, it doesn't actually matter, because even if time was stopped, Lantern still has moved and reacted faster than an instant. Also, Clockwork just doesn't have the power to actually hurt Lantern. No.
Upgrade is a galvanic mechamorph. I hope I'm saying that right. And he can essentially possess technology and upgrade it. And like he can upgrade a cannon into a super laser cannon, stuff like that. And he could hack stuff. So the argument is, couldn't upgrade hack into Hal's ring? Well, Hal actually has a force field that covers him at all times. And in the event of danger, the ring will actually act automatically and shield him, or just pull him out of harm's way. Dr. Manhattan actually once tried to understand a Green Lantern power ring and struggled to. So he does destroy the ring, but he doesn't fully understand how it works. He struggles to. To give you context,
he literally says, "I find it difficult to affect," and this is like God, man.
Yeah. Yes. The way DC Comics works is that, you know, if you are on a higher dimensional level than someone, you're like infinitely more powerful. Like if me compared to a drawing, that's a 3-dimensional human versus a 2-dimensional. That's the concept. And Dr. Manhattan is on a higher dimensional level than Mr. Mxyzptlk, who's a 5-dimensional imp who can grasp multiverses like they're footballs.
If a godly being can't understand how it works, I don't think that Upgrade has a chance. The Deathbattle cast stated that the only time Ben ever tried to clone himself with Echo Echo, he almost died.
I believe the episode is called Duped. It's the kind of cartoon episode where it's like, I need to be in multiple places at once. How am I going to do that? It's that cartoon episode.
Right, yep,
he switches into 3 Echoes, and then they switch back into Ben's, and they go do those things. But there's a reason why he never does this anymore. It's because it almost got him killed at the end of the episode. What it did was it split his personality into like 3 different Bens. So there was like the logical Ben or the, asshole Ben. I forget exactly what it was. And each of them could transform into a separate alien, but they weren't able to coordinate the same way that a single Ben could. And they ended up getting in each other's ways, and they ended up almost losing. And so at the end, Ben realizes the best strategy is to just be one Ben, and he merges and fights as one alien. So that's why that wasn't included, is because in the episode itself, it was something that was not optimal. And in this instance, against somebody that is that much faster and that much more powerful, I don't think Ben would rely on a strategy that almost got him killed.
Even if Lantern let Ben divide himself into 1,000 Echoes and then let those transform into celestial sapients, Lantern is thousands of times stronger than X. If you recall the speed difference, Hal would be driving a race car against an army of turtles. He can't hurt Lantern, and he can't take thousands of times more damage than a Big Bang. Or at least he hasn't been shown to. This is the one that kept coming up in debunking videos. Radiation is 100% pointless in a faster-than-light speed fight. This is because radiation moves at the speed of light. Even if this radiation was to hit Lantern, he is more than capable of transmuting it into energy for his ring, or just take it head-on without an issue.
The problem with most of Ben's aliens is that they lack the physical stats to compete with the Green Lantern. So they might have great hacks, but Hal can match all their hacks. And can move at 1.5 quintillion times the speed of light.
The Soda Bro effect. It's useless. It is described as a ripple effect, meaning that it takes time to reach other people. By the time that X senses that Lantern is going back in time, Lantern would have already killed him. Even if X could travel back in time with Lantern, X can't kill Lantern. Probably the biggest question is, can Ben die with the Omnitrix on? My understanding is that Prime Ben has died canonically in the show.
There have been occasions where Ben's in timelines with the Omnitrix have died.
And so yeah, Ben in that instance was killed by the Chronosapien time bomb. Now I brought that up to somebody and said the failsafe didn't protect it from that. Like he just died. And someone brought up, well, maybe he doesn't have an alien that could protect against something like the Chronosapien time bomb. Except he does. He has an alien called Clockwork, which is a Chronosapien, which is what No Watch Ben transforms into at the end of the episode to stop the Chronosapien time bomb. So Ben had the perfect alien to stop the Chronosapien time bomb. Failsafe did not activate. He still died. And even if we assume that it had no problems, the failsafe has only appeared once in the last episode of the show and saved him once, despite him being in mortal danger tons of times throughout the show's history. Adding all of that together and the fact that Hal would be too fast for it to react to him, that's why the failsafe didn't save him.
Yeah, he's died before. If Lantern hits Ben with an attack that is thousands of times stronger than the energy to destroy a universe, any of his aliens would die, and the Omnitrix can't do anything about that. Now, there are billions of ways that Lantern could kill Ben before Ben even transforms into an alien, or even as he transforms. What would probably actually happen in the fight is that Lantern would just rip the Omnitrix out of the chest of any of Ben's aliens. After all, any alien except for X would be killed instantly. In the end, Hal not only wins, but he wins with a stomp. His constructs are faster than the Watch's AI, Hal can move 750 times faster than X, Hal can take thousands of multiverse level attacks to the face, and compete with characters that can destroy a universe in a nanosecond. I don't even like Green Lantern.
I'm taking this as an almost direct quote. There's from a comic called Green Lantern, The Last Will and Testament of Hal Jordan. Hal explains that the ring can actually do anything and everything. It turns imagination into reality.
Yes.
The point of it is that it's not just like a thing that shoots like green constructs. It is a device that if you ask it to do something, it'll just do it. And the details aren't super important. And this is something that's consistent from, the beginning of Green Lantern's run in the 60s, pre-crisis stuff, all the way till now. Like Grant Morrison went in an interview about his new miniseries, and he said, yeah, I really wanted to explore the concept of a ring as a magic wishing ring.
It really comes down to the purpose of the characters and their stories. Unlike Hal and his ring, Ben is not supposed to use the Omnitrix to solve every problem he comes across. Ben has to think his way out of a situation and how to fix it. He has to get creative to solve the problem, while Hal just has to think of the solution and it happens. It doesn't make sense. I get that. I mean, the writers had Hal beat all the gods of emotion at the same time. That is stupid, and honestly, it doesn't make for a good story. That is just what caused Hal to win. All you Green Lantern fans out there, you know some of the stories are pretty weird, okay? Of course, I am just the messenger. Thank you for watching. Remember to stay spectacular. See you next time. JoJo out.